Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Lately, as I've been kind of doing my makeup, testing different products, there have been some products where I feel like the main question that I have and that a lot of other people would probably have before they purchase them is, are they really doing anything? And it's easy to tell when, let's say, a matte liquid lipstick is doing something or when a foundation is doing something. So many products, just because they have color in them, are very obvious. But these things, I think, are either marketed as invisible or they just, plain don't have any color to them. And so what are they doing for your skin? Are they doing something for like the texture and feel and smoothness of your skin? Are they adding hydration? Are they doing something for pore size? Are they impacting the staying power of your makeup? Like all these different things are kind of the questions I have with the products I'm talking about in this video. And this is not a first impressions video, as I have had many of these things in my collection for months. I just thought it would be a really good time to dedicate a video to this stuff. So the first thing is this Farsali Unicorn Essence. This is the stuff that you have probably seen in Instagram videos, those fast-paced little, I'm gonna dab, 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 a few dots of this all over my skin and blend it in. I think for a video like this, the claims are really important. So this is a $54 product for an ounce. It says apply to clean face before moisturizer, may be used as a primer before makeup application. So what the heck is a freaking unicorn essence? It says it's an innovative water-based dual-purpose serum which helps protect the skin from free radical damage while preparing it for longer lasting makeup application. So it's got all of these antioxidants from acai berries, goji berries, elderberry, blueberry. It's got vitamin C in it, which is known to help out with like healthy, even skin tone. It is pink and it does have a scent. A pretty strong scent to it, actually. It's very sweet. I feel like I'm putting liquid cotton candy all over my skin. I'm going to put a drop here on the forehead, a couple of drops here, because I think, didn't they call this unicorn tears beforehand? So it's kind of like, I don't know, you've got the unicorn tears streaming down your face, I guess, is the appeal, right? So I'm just gonna blend this all in, and what I've noticed about this product is it is none too moisturizing. It seems to absorb really, really quickly. I'm not really feeling any additional smoothness. Like picture what a really silky smooth primer might do for your skin. Your hands would just like go across the top of it. It feels pillowy soft. No, I don't have any of that with this product. This feels like a very light moisturizer that has like seeped into my skin immediately, and I feel no real texture difference with it. I've applied more product than what I just did in the past, and it still seems to just drink it right up. My skin does. Now, some people say, like in the reviews on Sephora, people will say, yes, this has an impact on the staying power of my makeup, or, it makes my stuff on my under eye area look really good. I mean, I can't honestly say that this is doing anything that I can feel right now for the physical texture of my skin. Ingredients wise, sure, it may be packing some great antioxidants into my skin and maybe doing a little something from a skincare perspective, but in terms of the way it makes my skin feel and what I can actually see on my skin, or the way it makes my foundations and other products apply or wear, I honestly don't see any difference with this product. I feel like it's just hype, hype, hype. People see this pink serum, they think they've got to have it. It has unicorn in the name. I use this stuff pretty consistently for a few weeks, but then you stop using it and you realize, yeah, nothing seems different, So that's my cue that I would not repurchase this product. So moving on, we're going to talk about a moisturizer here. Moisturizers, obviously, if they're not tinted, they're not having any color to them. But I really want to talk about the feel of this product. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. Magic Cream in the name, it's claiming to be magical. We've got to really talk about this. Charlotte Tilbury has this info on the side of the box. I've been mixing my own age-defying moisturizer for years, known backstage as Charlotte's Magic Cream. It's a secret mix of collagen-boosting anti-age ingredients, hyaluronic acid hydrators, and floral oils that instantly transforms tired, dull skin. And my skin is tired, as it is like 5 a.m. right now. The cream is white. It does have pretty packaging, it's like storming out there, but I can't see because it's dark right now. I'm now thinking about all those pool floaties I didn't put away. Making me kind of nervous, but I'm gonna move on. I've talked about different makeup products that give peaks, like stiff peaks. Maybe you know what I'm talking about here. So this is kind of a thick moisturizer. It definitely doesn't just like disappear into nothingness. when you start blending it in on your skin, I mean, it really feels deeply, deeply hydrating. It has just a light, kind of fresh scent to it, but it's nothing really overpowering. I never like to notice a ton of fragrance in skincare products. Put it on areas where I know I feel dry all the time, and I don't feel like any texture would show through to my makeup. You know, it's just a good, rich, dry skin moisturizer. If you're super duper oily, I don't even know that you would need this much under your makeup, but I'm sure oily skin people maybe could chime in the comments section if they've got something to offer there. But it says instant turnaround moisturizer, and I mean, for my normal skin, it's definitely feeling a little bit on the tacky side, you know, not in a really annoying way or a goopy excess type of way, but it just feels really nicely moisturized. And I have worn this under makeup, and I think it's been a really good sort of prep step. The thing that it's lacking for me to be using it in the morning would be some sort of SPF. Does she do something like this that does include an SPF? Because I think that would be really helpful to not have to layer on yet another step to my makeup. But as far as this product goes, it says treat and transform moisturizer. I feel like it is really feeling fantastic on my skin right now. Still kind of in this primer pre-makeup prep type idea here. I have a blur stick, and I think I talked about this briefly in another video. This came in a little like sampler set of Milk makeup products. This stick is supposed to really blur the look of your pores. In fact, I'm going to pull it up here on Sephora's site. It says it's a colorless oil and silicone free primer to blur the look of imperfections on all skin tones. It says it minimizes the appearance of pores and fine lines on every skin tone for an invisible, smooth, matte finish. So there's what it looks like. You twist it up here. It's got this kind of beigey look to it, but it is definitely colorless going on the skin. And look at my nose before. Now we're going to put some of this on. Like, it is instantly mattifying, instantly. And now I'm going to kind of blend that in because I noticed a little like excess product happened to come off there. I'm going to do a little on the sides of the nose as well, because I know this is where I see pores. They really show up for me like on toward the end of my nose and on the sides there. And the mattification that is happening with this product is certainly, you know, kind of blurring at the look of it, as it says, with a blur stick. Now I want to kind of go over some areas where I know I have some fine lines here in my forehead, because they reference that as well. Here, as I have used this product, I have not seen it being able to blur the look of actual lines in the skin. Like, I can just see them right now every bit as much as I did before. The pores, I think it is making a difference with. However, I think your foundation application going on top of this, I think it can really make a difference, because we can ooh and ah over what this just did for my pores just now. But what I've noticed as I put foundation on top of it, it can kind of like change it or smear it. I'm not saying this feels goopy or greasy or anything like that on my face, but by the time you take a brush or a beauty blender all over your skin and you're trying to blend out foundation, I'm wondering sometimes if I lose the effect. To me, the blur stick feels like instant gratification, but I'm not always seeing like a lasting or profound effect on my skin afterward. Now I want to talk about these cooling water type sticks, but cooling water is the actual name for the Milk sticks. So this was another one of those things in that little set, and it does feel super cooling on the skin. You can feel like this really thin but definitely apparent level of hydration on your skin, and I love putting these kinds of things on my under eye area. In fact, they've almost been replacing like an eye cream type thing when I start my makeup, because they just do feel really hydrating. And when I say they, I've got two others that I've been really closely comparing to this one ever since I did that primer declutter video. So I've got the e.l.f. Prep and Hydrate Balm, and also the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Coconut Water Primer Stick. I would say for the texture of all of these, just the way they feel, the way they add hydration to the skin, there are two of these things that are really close, the Milk and the Hard Candy. They seem so similar in terms of the texture on the skin. Like if we did a blind test of this and somebody was like putting these across my hand or putting them on each under eye area, and I didn't know what was going on there at the time, I don't think I would be able to tell these two apart. Like, they have the same amount of moisture that they give back to the skin and the same amount of cooling effect that I feel. The e.l.f. one, while it does look the same, I don't feel like this gives quite as much moisture to the skin as the other two do, and it's not maybe quite as cooling. You guys, I have tried so hard as I have used these to hone in on what is the difference. And I feel like the Milk and the Hard Candy are very strong in both of those aspects. A lot of moisture and a lot of cooling. And the e.l.f. is still good. Like if you got that, I still think you would notice a certain amount of moisture and cooling to it, but it's even more evident with these two. So I think for this video, I'm going to slap on this coconut water primer stick from Hard Candy. And yes, just on contact, so cooling. So I like to kind of run that around my under eye area, and then I just kind of take my fingers and dab over it. And it feels like such a nice layer of moisture there. And then I go on and like tweeze my brows, and I kind of let that moisture sink in for a little bit before I start applying makeup. And already just sitting here after like 30 seconds, I can feel that it's no longer that slippery moisture feel. Some has sunk into the skin, but my under eye area does not feel dry at all. It feels really, really refreshing and just so nice. And so you might be looking at all the things I've used so far and be like, dang, she's using, you know, the unicorn stuff and the face cream and then a blur stick and then a cooling water stick. No, on a daily basis, like I've kind of realized this is not something that's going to stay in my daily routine. Yes, I am going to be putting a moisturizer on. I really don't see the blur stick becoming a daily ritual for me. But so far with what we're talking about, these pre-makeup products, this is a really good moisturizer. I wish it had the SPF, but I think I will, on days when I'm feeling maybe especially dry, I think I'll reach for this. And I do really like this Hard Candy Coconut Water Primer Stick as well. There's no reason why you couldn't put that all over your skin, by the way. I just get the most impact and like cooling benefit from it around the eyes. It just feels so good on the eyes. Now I'm gonna move on with a few more steps of my makeup, and we'll talk about some other invisible products. So I have put on my foundation. It's the Smashbox Studio Skin Shaping Foundation, the one that has the foundation stick on one side and then the little like sculpting stick, like a contour color, right? I put that in the hollows of the cheeks around the forehead. I also did some concealer. I used this NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. Also, I tried to be really, really careful as I was blending in that foundation over my nose. Instead of really buffing in circular motions or raking across it side to side, I really just tried to work on pressing that foundation in around the nose. And I kind of do feel like I'm still seeing the effects of what that blur stick was doing. So I think it's possible for that to continue doing its job under makeup, you know what I mean? You just do have to be kind of careful. But now the reason why we've turned the camera back on, I wanted to talk about the translucent powder duo from Bare Minerals. They have a matte side and a glow side. I've had this for a good long while. Like I want to say I got this maybe around the holidays, if not before. Here's the matte side, and as you can see, the glow side has kind of a swirl of a beigey peach tone in there. And if you were to swatch these, you know, you see them very lightly on the skin. The glowy side, when you touch it, you just pick up more product, like it's a little softer to the touch. And the glow is what I would call very, very gentle, like a very much barely there glow, but it's super light. Kind of blended in the glowy side right there on my skin. Can you even tell what's catching the light there? It's super subtle. And then the matte side, yes, I can't argue with the fact that that's totally matte. Even though that looks super white, I think it performs very much as a translucent shade. So I'm gonna try to use the matte on a few areas of my skin today with my e.l.f. small tapered brush. Love this brush anytime you're trying to apply powders and keep them very targeted, you know? So I wanna try to use that right here on the under eye area. And as I've said before, not my first rodeo with these products, you know, I've tried them out quite a bit. And not that I'm really needing to be super mattified here around the nose, but I'm applying it kind of on the T-zone area just to sort of set the foundation that I've got on. My under eyes to the touch, they do not feel super tacky. They feel rather smooth. But honestly, as an under eye setting powder, I would say this is kind of a miss, because the thing that I noticed right away when I put it on was kind of an instant look of dryness. And I felt like I had just achieved so much hydration with the cooling water, and then the concealer looked good on top. And this powder to set it just didn't seem necessary in that area. But now we're gonna take the glow powder with a little bit bigger brush. As I said, this picks up a lot more like on a brush. When you dab into it, you just see a lot more product going on. So I'm going to kind of just swirl this elsewhere on the skin, kind of on top of my cheeks. You seen a little more glow happening there? It's not too much glowiness, but when my skin's really hitting the light, you can see just a tiny bit of sheen. Like, I think that step was actually quite nice because it was so lightweight. The powder is so super thin, and that glowy side doesn't look too powdery on my face. So the best way to describe this powder, I would say it's taking away any tacky texture that your skin might have after foundation, but it's still managing to be weightless. That being said, I don't think the matte looks super great on my skin. The glow looks better, but there's a lower cost alternative to that, and it is definitely the Milani Prep Set and Glow. Kind of a similar thing happening here. I think the Milani gives an even better look, honestly. Maybe even a hint more glow than this does, but not like, you know, shouting from the rooftops highlight glow, but just a hint of something. It takes all this matteness that you get from your foundation and concealers and whatnot and just gives it a little bit more of that skin-like look. So I really do love that in the Milani, and really scrutinizing this product and using it on and off for months here. I'm not really seeing this as a must-have, and in fact, I don't even really like it on my under eyes. A product that Bare Minerals has released more recently is this Invisible Bronze Powder Bronzer. You can see the bronzer like in a swatch here, so it's definitely not totally invisible. And it seems like the way they've created this range of product here, these are supposed to kind of correspond with your skin tone. So fair to light, it said ideal for fair to light skin. The medium for medium skin tones. The tan for tan skin tones, but I was kind of worried that it might not show up at all, so I went for the tan, even though I would probably be medium. And then they also make a dark to deep as well. They say this luxuriously smooth baked formula delivers multi-dimensional sheer buildable color that looks healthy and natural, never orange or overdone. Ultra-fine reflective pearls create a subtle glow that mimics the effective skin after a day in the sun. I've got my e.l.f. complexion brush that I really like to use with bronzers, and we're gonna start out just getting this right around the hairline. I can see a subtle glow with this. That tends to be what I notice. I come away from using this product feeling like it's sort of like any old bronzer that I've used in the past. The tone of it is good. When they say never overdone, like, yeah, I see that. Kind of reinforcing that contour, like it looks nice. But it does go on the skin kind of sheer. Let's put it like where the sun might naturally hit and see what kind of color we actually build up here. Nothing major, right? It's soft, it's natural. I will say this, it's not a scary bronzer. If you're very apprehensive about products like this, I don't think you need to fear. Even going with the shade that I did on my skin, you know, I can see it, but it's not too much. It's not like invisible though. Invisible might draw more people to this product and sound a little more intriguing, but I would say sheer is probably the best description. In comparison to other bronzers, other just typical bronzers from various brands, I've been trying some Becca bronzers recently. In comparison to that, this is a sheer coverage level on the skin. And I think it's cool that they put this out in a range to cater to different skin tones. But for my own personal needs, it's not knocking my socks off and I would not repurchase it. I'm back with you after getting the rest of my face on, and the last product I wanted to focus on here is the Milk Makeup Blur Spray. And this says it's an invisible matte makeup setting spray, provides a soft focus blur effect. Directions: shake well before use, hold 6 to 8 inches from face, and mist onto skin after makeup application. So I thought this would be a fun thing to see, like, is it actually doing anything? I so feel that way about different like makeup setting sprays. Is it actually making the makeup last longer? Does it actually look like anything on the skin? What I've been doing a lot with my setting sprays is doing about 4 mists. I kind of focus one on the top of my face, bottom of my face, and then on each side. So let's just do it. Okay. Let the droplets sink in. To be honest with you guys, and I have done this so many times, I've put this on, I've gotten way up close to my face to try to see if I notice anything. This is, I think, a truly matte finish makeup setting spray. If you put a lot of glow on your skin, let's say you wore a buttload of highlight one day and then you put this on, it's not gonna like mattify that, but 4 spritzes of this and it felt like a decent amount of product landing down on my skin. It's not gonna be one of those sprays like the Too Faced one or the Mario Badescu or the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Primer Mist. Those with a few mists, like the same amount of product here, actually look a little bit dewy on the skin. This lands on your skin and it does look matte. And it does claim to be an invisible matte makeup setting spray. Provides a soft focus blur effect. I have used this numerous times over different kinds of products. I've used no blur stick underneath. I've used the blur stick. To me, like I said, it's not doing anything beyond just being that matte makeup setting spray. The blurring I kind of question because it's not like this is liquefied blur stick or something. I'm putting this on makeup and this claims to be a makeup setting spray. So I have already put foundations and concealers on my skin. That's doing a fair amount of blurring of skin tones and imperfections and this and that. I'm not really giving this product the credit. Also, the times I've worn this, I have not noticed really any improvement in the staying power of my makeup. And one product, there is a product out there that is a matte setting spray. It's from Urban Decay and it's called De-Slick, and that stuff has a profound effect on staying power. Like I'm not sure what's going on in that product, but it works so well. If you are oily and you need that matte setting spray to really lock in the makeup, it does the job. This, you know, yes, I can put it on. It's not adding any additional glow to my skin. It's delivering on the matte claims, but I wouldn't go so far to say that it's blurring anything and it's not really extending the wear of my makeup. So I would say the stuff that I really liked most from this video would be, I like the Magic Cream. I think this is a really phenomenal texture for a moisturizer. I wish something would come out that had some SPF in it, but you could still layer on an additional SPF. And really like Hard Candy's Coconut Water Primer Stick. This is very cooling, and I think it's a fantastic dupe for the Milk Cooling Water Stick. So obviously I like this too if they're dupes for one another, but why not go with the lower cost item? And these are mini sizes of sticks, by the way. Milk's actual sticks are quite a bit larger. I do like the blur stick. This is kind of right in the middle for me because I think it does do a good job, but I think you have to be very careful with the makeup you put on top to not undo the effects of the blur stick. The stuff that I am really just not super sold on would be the Unicorn Essence. For that price tag, I'd like to see it doing a little bit more for my skin. Also the Milk Makeup Spray, I've tried better setting sprays. This Bare Minerals Powder Duo, like I said, go for the Milani if you're looking for something that's just gonna give you the lightest veil of soft glow on the skin. And the Invisible Bronze may be what the doctor ordered for some people who are looking for a super sheer bronzer, but for me, I'm not gonna need that all the time. So I really hope this video was helpful for you. My battery light is flashing, so I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.